Back so soon?
这么快就回来了？
What? Stumped without me?
离了我就又一筹莫展了。
Yes, Branya realized that.
是的 ，Bronya 的确意识到了这一点。
Don't. You don't bootlick me for free.
你们一拍马屁，准没好事。
Since we're all here, let's go over the
既
battle
然大家
plan.
都已经到齐了，那么我们重新同步一下作战计划吧。
Rather than observing Project Sigma's opening, Branya plans to take the initiative and rip it open temporarily by force.
转化为战斗能力，尽可能的将它暂时撕裂。
Rip it open? Yes. As long as we go all out, we can carve open our space in the sea of thought, which will allow the beacon to search for the real backdoor in safety.
安全的情况下去探查真正的后门。
But our observation will be detected as
我
well.
们的观测也必然会被发
Hence
现。
the temporary part.
所以 Bronya 一直在强调暂时。
Although Project Sigma will expose its weakness when counterattacking,
从而寻得破绽。
if the other party targets us aggressively, unlike Durandal and Co., our Herrscher status will render us very
可能
passive.
反而会令我们非常被动。
Branya will stall for as much time as possible. Before that,
在此之
May,
前，
regardless of whether you find the backdoor or will you find through it, you must withdraw in time to return to Sinfrea that's relatively stable. Are you saying when Project Sigma bounces back, you'll likely devour me again?
我就有可能被他再度吞噬
Yes.
吗？
Furthermore, if we want to reach the limit of analyzing Project Sigma as before, Branya would need Herrscher of Sentience help on the mental level.
借助时之律者的帮助。
Huh. And May, you'll invade the depth of Project Sigma with
进入生
Branya.
存计划的深处，并随时做好准备。
But you need to be ready. If the beacon changes as planned, we need to find the real backdoor and unleash its hidden power as quickly as possible. Got it. As for Kiana, you'll use the authority of the voids to temporarily close off the mind space that will be torn open, save the most conservative retreat route. Doing so will buy us more time and reduce our
进一
risk.
步拖延时间，减少我们暴露的风险，迟滞圣痕计划的反扑。
You can count on me.
放心吧，
But is that all the preparation
你
you
们真的不
need?
需要再准备
This
什
is
么
so sudden.
就这么突然。
Yes, Herrscher of Reason can memorize what she's just touched exceptionally well. Using this trait well is more important than making other
这一
preparations.
点对我们来说才最为重
By
要。
recreating the logic of those imaginary constructs, Branya will
Bronya 会为大家
redefine the world
重
for
新
you.
定义世界。
The girl didn't appear to change after making such a statement. In the Sigma space, the string of consciousness could not be seen by those who didn't understand it. Except for Herrscher of Sentience, who was acting as a driver. She was confused to discover her power was somehow draining exponentially faster this time. She didn't know what a great cause her power was being used for. On the other hand, for Herrscher of Reason, reconstructing the world was only one of the thousands of skills. Creating was no nobler than restoring the wings of a butterfly, for all who bore the name of Herrscher of Reason believes that human is the measure of all things. So this is the world created by Project Sigma.
圣痕计划所创造的世界。
After Metamorphosis, Herrscher of Truth was finally challenged by a worthy opponent. And as fate would have it, this opponent was also named World. This match took place in secret and didn't come off as decisive to anyone. But after Durandal and Teresa, like the epic heroes who proved that the gods were invincible, she proved one thing. Project Sigma is so overrated.
所詮この程度。
The planet directory. Branya saw this atmosphere
这种
coming.
氛围吗？
Branya, is everything normal?
算是一切正常吗？
Of course, but we might have pushed it too far. We're approaching at the center.
直接接近了对方的中枢所在。
Gotta get ready for battle, huh?
对吗？
That's right. But even though we made it here, May's beacon is still unresponsive?
似乎还是没有什么反应。
Yeah. Looks like we haven't pushed as far as we thought.
倒不如说，我们还必须更进一步。
May, you need your best partner, don't you? Kiana. Think of it as a small surprise. The most conservative retreat route? Me following you guys, of course. This will not only further narrow this passage. If I use my full power of the void proactively, nothing will go wrong. But for the overall situation, it's best for you to avoid using your full power at this stage. Haha, that depends on how well you do. Okay, let's not waste more time on bickering. As we said, a gruesome battle could break out at any time.
已经一触即发了。
大家各自做好准备。
Let's all get ready. Since it's the planet directory, maybe the existences that even Prometheus feels tricky to handle are nearby.
就在这附近。
Is this just a skirmish? They seem pretty shy to me.
急如雷电。
Here it comes. Considering that we need to tamper with it, we should take away its ability to fight without killing it.
但不要将它彻底消灭。恒定火力，构建火力连结。决战的时刻到了。
Did we hit too hard?
太狠了。
No, in terms of the analysis results, the battle has just begun.
全领域覆盖。审判的时刻到了。前所反应，全数调用后备能源。激发保险，立即解除。
狂风，臣服于我。 一刀了断，以此烈火，斩无不断。
Branya, what's the situation? Need more time. The structure is much more
他们之前那
complex.
些家伙的结构要复杂很多。
糟糕！糟糕 ！Annihilation，
立即执行。战术变更。
Shoot. Branya, you do your thing.
看你的了。
No problem.
成功武装，启用手动驾驶。能量解线，全领域覆盖，确认激活状态。激发保险，立即解除。以真理之名，超越我心。 调用后备能源，激发保险，立即解除。能量解线，全领域覆盖。收到指令，检索反应，全数清除。激发保险，立即解除。构建火力分。Fire。检索反应，全数清除。能量气息完成。
Analysis complete. Kiana, May, prepare for landing. Bronya will deal the last blow.
立即解除。
I've been waiting for you to say that.
能量解线，全领域披真理之名，超越我系。Completely prepared.
Are we done just like this? Yes, like the constructs that came before, we can make use of their properties for now. But things are trickier than we
事情
imagined.
比我们设想的要更加麻烦。
What is it?
怎么了？
Strictly speaking, it comes from a coupling mechanic similar to quantum keys. Hersh of reason can only emulate its single moments. So if we go deeper, May will enter a one-way street.
下一将进入的会是一条单向通道。
Wait, Bronya, if that's true, how will May return here?
该怎么回到这里？
She can't return
不能
here.
回到这里。
Considering that the back door is an unknown
关键是一
quantity,
种未知数。
we may have to conduct an operation similar to this one or the rescue of Kiana's father. In the worst-case scenario, we may have to wait for Duranda and Teresa to stumble upon May in the process of reclaiming the world.
发现牙医的踪迹。
Anyway, Bronya only realized this after completing the
才
analysis.
认识到了这一点。
The only time we can win is the time to enter and exit the
而
back
是这样
door.
夺得出入后门的时间。
May, what do you
你
think?
怎么看？
I think
我想，
this is my
这是使命的责
responsibility
任，
or
又
my
或者
mission.
说使命。
For me, who's inherited the sickness of flame chasers, this trip is more than trying to touch the authority.
更何况，
I believe in Kiana. I believe in Bronya. I believe in all who have been with us through thick and thin. At any time, any place.
开始吧
Let's do this, Bronya.
Bronya
Anytime, but
但
May, you only have one chance. After I begin, you need to find the only timing to
必
hack
须要找
in.
到骇入的唯一时机。
Otherwise, we need to start everything we did over, and that's being optimistic.
甚至更早。
Understood.
了解。
Intentionally or not, as she had done in the battle against the Hersh of corruption, she began to recall all things concerning someone with all her heart. I hope everything
都
helps.
能有所帮助。
Kiana, Bronya, I'll leave everything to you.
接下来，拜托你们了，
Leave it to us.
就交给我们吧。
Then,
那么，
so this is what Prometheus meant by tricky.
是这个意思。
Can you handle it?
能应付得来吗？
Yeah, given the situation here, don't enjoy your stay there too much.
你可别流连忘返了。
I'll do my best.
尽我所能，
Be safe.
一路顺风。
Do it, Bronya.
开始吧 ，Bronya。
The string of consciousness that was invisible to the mortal eye began moving again. Having lost the help of Hersh of sentience, the girl began to challenge the possibility she didn't tell. By using what his codification of the world have created, she would not only tear open the main net. Although it's probably going to be the instant, Bronya should have no problem. May, now. As the girl signaled, she not only carved open the only passage for Hersh of Thunder, but also made Project Stigma stop operating for an instant. In other words, she emulated the order of Project Stigma and made the wheel of 7 billion stagnate simultaneously for 2 whole seconds. Today is the day that the divine tyrant shall be devoured. Although they had different purposes, the saying of her predecessor was apt for her. Thanks.
多谢。
At this hard-fought moment, the girl clutched the beacon in her hand, whose hands were spinning wildly. Alicia.
艾莉西亚 ，completely prepared.
Nobody responded explicitly. But Raiden May's comrades perfectly completed their own duties. And now, before her eyes, this was undoubtedly a completely foreign world. Rather than the origin of the world, this place represented the beginning of May and her friends. Just like before, VOV has such unique considerations. I should have known by now.
对此，我应该早有认知才对。
I should do what I need to do.
去做我应该做的事吧。
I've come.
我来了。
Was this door so far away?
这道门有那么远吗？
But I've been going
我
forward.
明明一直在前进，
Why?
为什么？
No, I must have gotten something wrong.
我一定搞错了什
She
么？
was looking at where the beacon pointed. Not to mention she came here with the help of her friends and absolute resolve and faith. Yet this place was almost filled to the brim with nothingness. Right, VOV.
对了，
Is
我要
she
回，他是不是？
out of the trust forged by the Alliance? She placed her hope in the beacon's possible change. This back door, which was considered a gift, was her highest priority for the long time, and secretly lit her desire to see her again. After the hand spun several times unnaturally, a familiar voice came from it. Yet it made the girl realize how wishful her misunderstanding of its functionality was. I'll copy you for once.
就让我也学学
Hi,
你吧。
miss me yet?
想我了？
Velvi.
Where
This was not an exchange, but a sigh, as the other wasn't greeting her. I'm sorry we can only leave you a message like this, Alicia.
我们只能用这种方式向你留言，艾莉西亚。
When you receive this message, we, or should I say, most of the people you know, are already gunners.
应该说你认识的绝大多数人，应该都已经不复存在了。
They probably wouldn't sadden you too much.
你应该也不会太过悲伤
When
吧
we miss you, we don't always express it by crying.
也并非总是用哭泣这一种方式。
I've got more important things to say.
虽然我的确在啰啰嗦嗦地说着这些，
Beings that have returned to the cocoon
但回归了茧
may
的
not
存在，
retain their
甚至未必
personality,
还拥有人格吧。
but this won't hinder what I'm about to do.
这不会成为我做这件事的阻碍。
I know your greatest regret is not being able
没
to
能看
see
到
how
事
you
情因
change
自
the
己而
world.
发生的变化，一定是你最大的遗憾。
That's why I borrowed this backdoor from you and our successors.
向我们的继承者借来了这扇后
But
门，
you, who now exist in the realm, have gotten what you wanted. Therefore, I don't want the you over here to be left out. Through this back door, I'll sync the successor's memory of the world with you. From now on, the stars will shine, for I have been here before.
因为我如今来过，
From now on, the flowers will bloom,
将有
for
百
I
花
have
绽放，
never left.
因为我从未离
You
去。
did it.
你做到了呢。
A sudden, massive flow of information gushed out of May's Hercher core. That was the real purpose of that beacon, and seemingly the only wish V had when leaving it. Scenes flashed across May's eyes. It was the world after Alicia had left. It was a sight she could only long for. The so-called backdoor was never the key to the authority of origin, but only a long letter to an old friend. Even though the being known as Alicia was long gone from the imaginary space, she sent it anyway. Like the signals looking for life in the vast universe, she hopelessly yet romantically declared that the beautiful land had become more beautiful since you went away. Yes, this also means something else. Vilvi's backdoor and their hope of touching the authority of origin are completely unrelated. Hey,
嗨，
miss me
想
yet?
我吗？
At any time, any place, Alicia will. This anticipation would likely never be fulfilled. Nobody knows how much time has passed. I've always been
从很多不同
learning
的
how
人身
love
上，
works
我
from
一直在
different
学
people.
习爱的运作方式。
Some say that it's an
有人说
instinct.
那是一种
Some
本
say
能，
that it's a
也
complex
有人
and
说
precise
那是
skill.
一种复杂而精密的技巧。无论哪种
I
说法我
agree
都
yet
同意。
disagree with
也都反
both
对。
perspectives.
但
But
如
if
果
you
你问
ask
我
me
自己
what
的
I
看
think
法，
it is, I
我目
believe
前
that
相信
love can be learned.
爱也
One
是可以
day
学
we'll
来的。
master it and understand its true
总有一
form.
天，我们会对它越来越熟练，掌握它真正的样
But
貌。
you also know that
但你也知道，
learning is a
学习
strange
是一件很奇
process.
怪的事。
The more examples we
我们
have,
参照的对
the
象越
further
多，
our
最
conclusion
后的
will
结
be
果
from
反而
them.
会不同于其中的任何一
In
种。
other words,
换言
love
之，
that is carved into
那些一成
stone
不变的
is
爱，
merely a dangerous
反而是一
form
种
of
危险的自我
self-delusion.
满足。
What are you
你到底
trying to
想说什
say?
么？
You're really an
你这会儿
impatient
还真的很
one.
没耐心呢。
Does this topic
是
bore
对
you,
话题提
or
不
do
起
I
劲，
bore
还是
you?
对我提不起劲？
Alright, let's
好啊，
talk about this topic of
那就
yours.
来聊聊你的话题吧。
So after all your
比如说，
learning, you chose
学
to
来
trick
学去，
children into
你
going
最
to the
终选择了
moon.
把孩子们骗上了月
It's
球。
better than trying to
就结
mix
果来
in
说，
with you guys
总比单方面的跟着
one-sidedly.
你们混要好一点，不是
They were
吗？
not thrown into a
他们
false
可没有陷入
dream.
一场虚
As
假的美梦，
precious new
而是
humans,
作为珍
they
贵
were
的新人
promised the
类，
world
被许诺拥有一整个世
for a
界。
long period of
在
time
很长一段
because
时
I
间
wasn't
里，
responsible
因为我不够
enough.
尽职
They
尽
could
责，
only rely on each
他
other
们
to
只能相依
survive.
为命，完全靠自己活下
That
去。
won't be the case anymore.
以后可不会
No
了。
matter who wins
无
between
论
you
世界
guys
是
and
和
World
你们，
Serpent.
谁输谁赢。
Raven, have
不呀，
you ever said
这些
all these
话
to the children?
你有亲口向孩子们说起
Why
过
would I?
怎么
That
会
would be
呢？那不是自
contradictory.
相矛盾吗？
To some of them,
虽
the
然对
day
他们
might
中的某些
eventually
人来
come
说，
But I don't want to teach them those unnecessary surviving skills myself. Of course, even if they do learn, I hope they'll never have to use them. In the end, you don't approve of Project Sigma either. But to go along with it is my best solution. So you continue to abstract us as their protector. Don't be so hostile, miss. I'm a cadre of the World Serpent after all. And before Project Sigma began, the World Serpent kept those children fed and clothed. After Project Sigma began, the World Serpent gave those children a brand new world. If it were you, how would you choose? Don't misunderstand. I'm not throwing a tantrum about how you don't understand. I just want to emphasize that we lead very different lives. You're simply a passerby in the darkness. You've always belonged to the light. So, do what you will. The World Serpent didn't order me to persuade every opponent of mine. Then why did you appear before me? Here, of all places. As I said, this is really a coincidence. I was in a bad mood and decided to take a stroll somewhere, and then I met someone who was crestfallen too. A stroll in a place like this. Don't forget who holds the advantage now. To the World Serpent, this is the eye of the storm. Who would have thought that you'd be the reason this place exists? May. Rather than you, I'm the one with nowhere to go. I have always been the one. You could easily get an island. Don't tease me. I'm a follower of the Savior and will watch as he destroys and rebuilds the world. If I wish, I could become the owner of a white land. But, May, perhaps you've heard about my past. After the island sunk, I couldn't accept reality. But even if I realized my dreams then, would it have salvaged anything? You mean you'd rather have an ideal that you can never fulfill? Don't say it so plainly, it's embarrassing. But those who have been sacrificed are the same. Hanging onto a futile dream day after day, year after year, doing meaningless things through their short lifetime. Mercenary, bartender, or an island. These are the ways I lived, and also a prison to my life. But there are still people out there who'd call me a teacher, right? It seems like you're more suited to be the one dreaming. I think so too, but unfortunately, I'm someone who cannot dream. Oh, I'm not as special as Sire. You're aware of the true nature the dreams Project Sigma gives. They tie everyone's happiest moments together and share them with each other. If others' happiness could satisfy me, why would I still be an outsider now? Outsider is an appropriate description. So you're done with your beguilement? What, you think I'm too chatty? Unfortunately, I'm in a rush for time. Alright then, don't let me hold you back, Miss Raiden May. See you. At this moment, the two still sounded friendly. But with their understanding of each other, they simultaneously reached for their weapons.